back, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of Likeable Figures. And you know we here to see you do better and be better. My name is Major Wala, and today in this episode, we're going to be going over something that I feel like everyone needs to know, but you definitely need to know this if you are looking into or trying to repair your credit or improve your credit score, because this book of law is the weapon you need to defend yourself. Stay tuned. Wait, something isn't right. I need more branding.
Hey,
Brand.
that's pretty good.
Now, let's get into the video. Today, in this episode, we're going to be talking about the FDCPA. This is the book of law that you need to defend yourself against those pesky debt collectors. Okay, this is another one of my favorites. 1692G, the validation of debts. So, any debt, like I said, get your credit report, look at your credit report. Any debt that's on your credit report, you have the right to send a validation letter.
Good.
Whenever you pull your credit report, within 5 days after the initial communication with a consumer in connection with the collection of any debt, a debt collector shall, unless the following information is contained in the initial communication or consumer has paid the debt, send the consumer written notice containing. When they placing on debt on your credit report, they must, within 5 days, you must receive something stating why they placing their debt on your report. And it must contain the amount of the debt, the name of the creditor to whom the debt is owed, a statement that unless the consumer within 30 days after receipt of the notice dispute the validity of the debt or any portion thereof, the debt will be assumed to be valid by the debt collector. A statement that if the consumer notifies the debt collector in writing within 30 days that the debt or any portion thereof is disputed, the debt collector will obtain verification of the debt or a copy of a judgment against the consumer, and a copy of such verification or judgment will be mailed to the consumer by the debt collector. Number 5, a statement that upon the consumer's written request within 30-day period, the debt collector will provide the consumer with the name and address of the original creditor if different than the current creditor. So it's basically telling you what all the validation letter needs to have once you request validation. Part B, disputed debts of 1692. G, if the consumer notifies the debt collector in writing within the 30-day period described in subsection A that the debt or any portion thereof is disputed, or that the consumer requests that the name and address of the original creditor, the debt collector shall cease collection of the debt. If you are requesting validation or you disputing this debt, they must cease all collection of this debt or any disputed portion thereof until the debt collector obtains verification of the debt or a copy of a judgment or the name and address of the original creditor, and a copy of such verification or judgment or name and address of the original creditor is mailed to the consumer by the debt collector. Collection activities and communication that do not otherwise violate this subchapter may continue during the 30-day period referred to the subsection. A, unless the consumer has notified the debt collector in writing that the debt or any portion of the debt is disputed, or the consumer requests the name or address of the original creditor. Any collection activities and communication during the 30-day period may not overshadow or be inconsistent with the disclosure of the consumer rights to dispute the debt or request the name and address of the original creditor. Man, listen, when y'all reading these laws, understand that they are trying to use words to trick your brain, like to trick the regular citizen brain. If you're not equipped on reading these things and reading in between the lines, basically It's saying if you dispute the debt within the 30 days, they cannot continue to collect on the debt. They can't collect on the debt. They must start the verification process. They must start a reinvestigation on verifying this debt. And they can't do anything until you have received the verification that you asked for. Okay, subsection C of 1692G. Omission of liability. The failure of a consumer to dispute the validity of a debt under this section may not be construed by any courts as an omission of liability by the consumer. So even if you don't dispute it, if you don't dispute the debt, that is not considered a mission of guilt. This debt must be verified. So even if you don't get around to dispute it, they can't just say, oh yes, it's true and guaranteed, because you are the only person that can validate a debt. Honesty. D. Legal procedure. A communication in the form of a formal pleading in a civil action shall not be treated as an initial communication for purpose of the subsection. So them letting you know that there's legal pleading is not alerting you about the debt. They can't alert you about the debt with automatically saying that they searching for some type of civil action. They can't just alert you that way. The East, notice of provision. The sending or delivering of any form or notice which does not relate to the collection of a debt and is expressly required by Title 26, Title V of Graham-Leach Bailey Act, 15 U.S. Code 6801, or any provision of the federal or state law relating to the notice of data security breach or privacy. Any regulation prescribed under any such provision of law shall not be treated as initial communication in connection with debt collection for the purpose of this subsection. Basically saying the same thing. They cannot let you know that they're collecting on the debt with legal proceedings. One of my favorite statutes of law, because it helps me get the results for my client. So, and that's all I'm about. That's what I'm about. I'm about getting results to make other people's lives a little bit much easier. The more you get deleted, the more you can get added, the more you can qualify to get added. But you have to clean up the dirty stuff before you can implement the clean stuff and the new good stuff. But I wouldn't prefer or refer anyone to just start adding new accounts on top of old dirty stuff that may or may not be inside your credit report. So, and the FDCPA is what's going to help you get a lot of that nasty old debt that's on your report. It's going to help you get it off. It's going to help you get these things deleted. It has a lot of information in it that can help a lot of different people, because one thing about it, we all can benefit from it and we all can be harmed by it, by the lack of not knowing. So this is Likeable Figures. I thank you for tuning in. Tell your friends about Likeable Figures. See, Likeable Figures. It's right there on the shirt. I want you to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And if you get a chance, go through the catalog and watch some more of the other videos, because there might be something more that can help you, because that's what we're here for. We're here to see you do better and be better. I'm Major Wala. I thank you for watching again, and peace.